Good evening, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. I don't even know how to begin explaining what's happening right now. Elizabeth, when there aren't two chickens on the kitchen worktop, should we do some sort of life update?
Yeah, if we're lost.
Okay, how long do you need?
Oh, give me a few minutes.
Okay, see you shortly.
See you shortly, I'm taking them back outside now. Good girl, let's go.
You're trapping a pom-pom.
Oh, she'll be alright. Watch your bum. Thanks.
Okay, so Elizabeth has told me that she hasn't got time for doing videos tonight, so I've got to talk to her while she's preparing tea. Good evening, Elizabeth.
Hi.
We've got some live updates to update people on, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing really major or serious, but I just think we've got a few days without doing a vlog, and the little things that happen we sort of missed, don't we? You've been quite stressed, haven't you, the last few days?
Yeah.
Not my fault though, for once.
Animals.
Yeah, where should we start? Which animals should we start with?
We start with Rupert because his incident happened at the weekend.
Rupert the cat incident. He's not in the event, is he? I was like, get him out for a prop. No, it's not him. Come on, what happened? So you noticed a bit of blood on the carpet upstairs, didn't you?
Yeah, we didn't think anything of it though. Well, Rupert acted. I noticed a spot of blood on the landing. Only one spot, nothing else. And then Rupert came in from outside. Well, he was already in, and he went and got straight under the bed with just his back paws sticking out. It was like the most bizarre thing. Like he'd gone and hid under the bed basically. And when you checked him, didn't you? And he was absolutely fine. So we never thought anything of it. This was Saturday. We then went off to Wracking and register at Outlaw. Came back home and he came downstairs. He'd obviously been asleep for all the hours that we'd been out under the bed upstairs.
When he walks downstairs, like
yeah, you picked him up and he made a crying noise. So you had a look at him and you said, "Oh, there's something happened to his shoulder." So on closer inspection,
there were some other words in there as well. I said things like, "Oh my gosh, my little prince, how are you?"
So I looked at his shoulder and he had got a little cut on it.
There's 2 or 3, wasn't there? Like on his shoulder.
Yeah. So you held him and we sprayed some antiseptic spray on him.
He knows. I think when you're quite firm with him, he becomes quite like subdued. So I firmly pressed him down on the floor and he just lays there.
Yeah.
And then you were squirting some antiseptic spray on him.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
And then because he knows, I mean, a lot of animals do this, because they know that you've done something to them because they're unwell or hurt in some way, they then lay it on really thick for the rest of the day. So he was limping around the house, wasn't he? He'd not been limping before
hardly
that.
Moving, just limping. And then we spotted him walk across the garden, absolutely fine. So we both were like, "Oh, Rupert!" And then he started limping again, coming towards us, and we were absolutely creasing, weren't we? Because we literally just watched him walk across the garden absolutely fine. He saw us and then he just did this limp where he could hardly put one paw in front of the other.
Absolutely multi.
So anyway, so he's absolutely fine. It was just he'd obviously cut himself outside, but he's quite a sensitive soul, so it had.
In fact, that night it was night before Outlaw, and we were still thinking about it, weren't we? And he was laid on the floor in the bedroom, and then for some reason about midnight, I was still awake, raised nerves and stuff. I heard him. He just absolutely sprinted downstairs, pelted down the stairs. I didn't hear him go out. He must have come downstairs somewhere, but I was like, "Oh, it's a miracle recovery. Then he's all better." Are you burning that?
Well,
what is for tea, by the way?
Corn pieces, curry, rice, and naan bread.
I think it's a naan bread actually.
Can I just get a bit more out of it?
Yeah. Well, actually, it was really fattening, so no, you can't.
Well, it's tough.
Glad for a spice rack. Okay, so other animals then. Chickens. I mean, we've just seen 2 of them in the kitchen.
Yeah. So just give this a little toss.
Can't say that. Go on. Why do you do things like that? Honestly.
Chickens.
Yeah.
So a couple of weeks ago, I had one with a swollen closed eye, as you saw me giving her the medication. Then on Sunday of this week, just gone, I had another one start with the exact same thing, just one eye swollen. The vet thinks it's a sinus infection that's obviously spread from one to the other. So I've been back to the vets this evening to get more medication and take the one that she hadn't seen, so she could give me some medication for her as well.
But God help the vets, because Elizabeth had called them 8 times the day before.
8 times. I called them 8 times on Monday and nobody answered.
That's not good.
I then called them numerous times throughout the day yesterday. Finally got through, got the appointment for this evening. But no, I just had a right palaver.
Did you give them both barrels?
Yeah. I did make a point of telling every person possible that worked there how many times I had to call. Yeah, and then I've got to go back on Friday to collect some different medication, because at the minute I'm having to give tablets and a liquid medication. It's quite difficult. 'cause I have to like trick them and soak it in bread and things like that. So I'm hoping to just get some powder to go in the water to treat them all.
What happened yesterday? You had a tablet to give to one chicken and some bread to give to another. Bear in mind, there's 6 chickens in total.
Yeah, so I had a tablet to give to one and liquid to give to the other one. Anyway, them 2 didn't have it. 2 other chickens are absolutely fine. Ended up having this medication because I had right palaver with them. Just
one chicken.
They think they're missing out on a treat. That's why, and it's not. It's literally medication. But the other chickens think they're missing out. And anyway, I was trying to get this tablet off the chicken that shouldn't have had it. She was running around the garden with it hanging out of her mouth, and I was like legging it after her, and she was like flapping and going all over the place. And the next thing, she just went and like gulped it down. So it was quite a stressful day yesterday.
The chicken that didn't need the medication had it, and you'd run out at that point.
Yeah, I'd run out, so I couldn't actually give the one that needed it.
Oh god, I can't believe it's such
so it's just been a pretty stressful week, sort of, you know, doing some life admin stuff. Work's pretty busy at the moment, and then I registered at a new doctor's, forgot to sign one of the bits that I needed to sign, so I had to go back. Turns out they'd taken my form to one of their other practices but failed to tell me that, so that was another palaver. So yeah, my stress levels have been quite high.
Good job. I'm such a great support. So because I'm having a few days, just on your toe, a few days easy recovery, no training, I cooked tea for us last night, didn't I, Liz?
You did so well.
So yes, what did I cook?
Well, it was meant to be quiche, potatoes and beans.
Yeah.
The quiche you didn't warm up.
Oh, it says ready to eat on the packet.
The potatoes were just like tin potatoes, what you just boil on. Well, you don't boil them, you just simmer them on the hob. And then beans, anyone should be able to cook beans. So you really did so well.
You're welcome. Call it even for all those early starts, hey?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to crack on this evening with stuff, and then if I make good enough progress, I'm going to get on the bike and do a little spin on the bike. But firstly, I'm not telling you. Firstly, have you signed up for the Send It Squad?
No, so I'm having a free place. I told you that.
You're not. There's no freebies. Do you want to support me?
You're it then.
Customer? The link is in the description down below. It closes tomorrow, Friday evening, when I go to bed, which could be 10, 11 o'clock, I don't know. Yeah. Please do get your name down if you're interested.
Come on, it's going to be a good crack.
Elizabeth will be on it. I'll go halves with you. Okay, I've waited till I finished riding because the microphone on this camera is really sensitive. So I've done 41 minutes and 38 seconds of cycling, an average power of 144 watts. I don't know what my heart rate was, but probably around 100 beats a minute or even less, maybe around there. I definitely took it really easy. This week for me is definitely about just recovery. I know that there's a long winter ahead, and thank you for all the support with me announcing my ambitions to be better at 70.3 racing. It's going to take a lot of training. I've got about 7 months before Outlaw Half Nottingham, and during that time there'll be illnesses. There will hopefully not be, but will more than likely be some sort of niggles along the way, with some problems along the way. So I'm banking on roughly 6 months training. Like, every session counts, every week counts, every little thing you can do counts. But not this week. This week is about setting myself up for doing those things. I've raced 3 days ago. I need to recover. If I go too hard too soon now, in 2, 3, 4 weeks, I will just dive and I will struggle. This week is definitely about just taking it easy. So I've finished on 41 minutes and 38 seconds for that reason. I'm not trying to do a specific time, just doing a pedal, and that's it. 144 watts. That's like bottom end zone 1, mid zone 1, I don't even know. Just turning my legs over helps me feel a little bit more mentally sane because I've done a little bit of training. Just turn the legs over, aiding the recovery. But this week is all about that recovery, because come Monday I need to be ready to rock and roll. So that is it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button down below. Loads of cool training content coming up over the winter. I know I've just said this week's all about recovery. Liz and I are going for a little, it is a race on Sunday. It's not a proper race, but it is a race. So look forward to that. I'll tell you more about that in the coming days. See you later.